playing it. You know, like, guess who's at my gallery?
That's the biggest con of all time, and I love it. I'll just run with it.
So I have so much respect for Kyle. Kyle is truly an intellectual. He's one of the coolest cats in town, well-dressed for straight men. He is one of the best dressed straight men I have ever met. He puts me to shame. And I have now been able to create a project with him where we're making a podcast for your friend Chris.
Yes.
And it's really interesting what's happening, Aaron, because we are, Chris, don't kill me, but we're kind of doing it like it's like a My Fair Lady, Pretty Woman, where we have to get shoes for this guy, shirts, jackets. It's like a group project.
By the way, this conversation has happened behind your back. Is basically they're Pretty Woman eating your ass, and Chris goes, "Oh man, I'm ahead of the curve." I'm like, "No, you're not."
Well, but you know what? It's done with love.
Yes,
because like I said, we're not working with skills. We're working with a personality.
Yes,
we're teaching him how to dress and shoes and stuff, but we have put him in situations. He was at the biggest gallery in town, also known as Fight Club, and
is that the actual Fight Club or a separate Fight Club?
I just don't want to name names because I don't know how this is going to come out. Not that I don't trust you, but you never know. And well, let's see. I have to say, Chris always surprises me because he managed to go to two of the biggest art people in the Orlando area, and he snagged himself interviews, things that Kyle and I hadn't even asked him because we just assumed that would never be, but he just went there and talked to them, and then he went and interviewed. This is my absolute favorite story. You really allowed this guy this career. I give you full credit for this, by the way. We take him to interview Harold Garbe.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of told Harold in the beginning, I said, this is probably going to be not the type of interview you've had because this is different. And Chris is unashamed of what he doesn't know, which is, I think, what makes him such an exciting interviewer.
Chris is a sponge. And that's the great thing about it, is because when he picks up on a particular thing, he runs with it. He wants to learn everything about it. And the curiosity is so excellent with him because he's able to ask the right questions to engage and continue the conversation in the way it needs to be. He's got that nods to that.
So listen to this. So he's talking to this 95-year-old. Harold Garbe is considered one of the 10 best living artists at the moment in the United States. This is no small affair. And he asked him some questions that were real. I was like, wow. And then they end the conversation with, Chris looks at him and says, so Harold, in your own words, tell me why I should give a shit about your art. And I thought, okay, that must be what a stroke feels like because I felt that tingling.
Your blood pressure rises, your face turns red, all of a sudden
and
you're
I'll show you the clip afterwards because I filmed it. Harold looks at me and looks at him and he says, because I love you. Because you're a wonderful person and wonderful people need art. And Chris choked up. And I thought to myself, this is gold.
Yeah, that is gold.
That is gold. And Kyle and I talked to Chris. We were on our way to St. Petersburg to the Dali Museum. Or is it St. Petersburg, right? The Dali Museum?
It's in Tampa.
Wherever
Tampa
the hell it is, somewhere there, yeah.
I've actually never been. I really want to go, considering I'm a big fan.
And on the way there, we told him, I said, listen, you need to understand, no one, when we were your age, no two grown men said, we trust in you, we're going to do this for you. I said, take this for what it is. You have to take this seriously. Because whether this works or not, this is an education that you're receiving that I didn't get. I wonder what would have happened to me if at 30, two grown men who have some kind of life came to me and can I open up? I have to open up the door. Oh,
it's for them.
Yeah. Give me a second.
I thought it was just another wonderful resident. Oh yeah, 45 minutes will kill it, Boris says right before the show. So we need to start wrapping this up. But go ahead, Boris.
So we told him, I said, we had never had, none of us, either personally, had two grown people say, I trust in you, we believe in you, we want this to happen. And I wonder how my life would have changed if I'd had that. You know, because I think the beautiful part of the story is about people believing in you. Mm-hmm. And having faith in you and wanting you to succeed. Mm-hmm. You know, and one of the things that I know you'll understand this, is I have learned the hard way. People don't enjoy my success. They don't.
Guess what? Nobody likes seeing other people succeed.
Thank you.
It's true.
That's brutal what you said, but
it's the honest way, because if I can't have what you have, then why does the American dream always exist the way it has always dreamed? Fuck.
It's fucked up.
It's fucked up. Yeah, why can't I have the American dream that you have?
So let me tell you what you did right.
I think Chris was, if he really said that to a 95-year-old man, I don't think I would even say that. I think I would kind of dance around it, why should I care? But just the direct way that he presented it, I think.
But he didn't say it aggressively. He just you said,
why should I give a shit about your art specifically? You're a 95-year-old man. I don't know anything about you. You haven't been relevant in my lifetime, or come across in my spectrum of time in my neighborhoods, and you weren't a part of my daily dinner discussion with mom and dad.
Please, Chris, don't kill me. But at one point in the conversation, Harold Garbe apologized to Chris and said, the education system has failed you.
That is fucking beautiful.
It is.
That should be, I don't know how, but you need to somehow market that moment.
That's what Chris represents, that brutal type of honesty. Here's the interesting thing. Women love Chris. Straight men are drawn to him. And I've had this discussion with Chris. Why? It's not that I don't understand it, but I think Chris is that non-threatening, cool guy that is not gonna. But the thing is, I know who he is. He will sleep with your girlfriend. He will take the wallet if you're not looking. You know. But for some reason, people don't see that. No, of course he won't do that. But I mean, the thing I like about Chris is he's dangerous. There's an edge. There's something rough, and I think diamonds are rough before they're polished. You know.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean.
Oh yeah. I give a lot of credit to Chris in the way.
You should.
There was a little bit of time when I first met him that I had some doubts, but after being on mic with him for 4 shows that never got released because I needed to get used to who I was partnering with. Because when you hear the first show of One Soul the Cult, it goes in and it's fire right off the bat. It was not like that in the beginning, because and now that we added a third person, I need to get him back to that fiery animator that he once was. And he's even said it to you and to me. He goes, I need to be more ferocious. So I was like, you just need a little bit more angst in your blood there, buddy. And, I think he's coming around to it, so which is really cool.
I really want him to be able to stay honest and daring, and he has a very seductive way, that's music, of getting you to talk, and I think, but you have the two, and who knows, maybe you taught him because you pulled things out of me, and I think that's the point. So
after you, Chris is about 7, 8, 9th in guests, so he will have heard this by then. Yes. So I'm really excited to kind of see how the way he perceived your discussion to how he will kind of talk back to you in a little bit in the way, because I think that's kind of cool. It's like for a future interview he doesn't even know he's a part of yet.
You should also talk to Kyle Eagle. Kyle Eagle is an amazing, I think I'm a good interviewer. I know what I'm doing, but that guy, that's just great,
There are a couple that I am very, very excited for. I'm excited for all of them.
Of course.
But but the level of anxiety that goes into pre-interview,
yes, of course.
Like when I sat down here, you could see that I was a tad bit nervous, but as soon as that mic went on, it was different. It's like, it's time to work, daddy.
What happens when you have an interview and 10 minutes into it,
Oh, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but you got to finish.
No.
You'll stop it?
I'll stop it. There's actually something that I actually came up with. Me and my wife were talking right before I would say this whole thing began. And if you notice, there's actually a gold bowl in the middle of the table right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So there's actually something that I'm going to be putting in the rules after the first couple of interviews are done. We're actually going to put our cell phones in there.
Oh.
And except for breaks, if you get a vibration and you go and pick it up, the interview's over. Because that means you've fallen back into technological wasteland. You're not here. You're not present.
Do you not think this is a little harsh? I mean, you as an addict of all people should be a little bit more compassionate.
No comments.
You know what's interesting?
Literally no comment.
what I found out at Fight Club is addiction never leaves you. It comes out sideways. Whether it's shopping, gambling, jerking off, whatever.
How about podcasting?
I was able to take that energy and do other things with it. But I wanted to tell you what you did right.
Okay, sure.
I feel really good about this.
It's a very good interview. I am very surprised at how well these last 3 interviews have gone. Like, I expected 45 minutes to an hour per interview. Yesterday, we've almost matched the same amount for the whole day. We're at almost 2.5. Wow. 2 hours and 45 minutes right now.
And the thing is, and this is the best compliment I can give you, I have a person here, I have stuff to do, I'm preparing for a party here, and I want to go on talking to you.
Yeah. But that's why there's always next time.
I do, because you have allowed me to be comfortable, and I will tell you why this is important to me. You gave me a very honest reason. I was bullied. I was a non-existing voice from the time I got here at 14, I think all the way through college, where I was very shy.
Was it always Orlando?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I went to college in Lakeland, so I was close,
Right.
I had no voice. No one listened to me. And I'm kind of finding out who I am again.
Right.
And I am using this platform to help other people. Whether it's, like I said, women, the gay community has a safe haven here, the Spanish community. I have this incredible internship where young women learn the business. Nathalie Ruiz is my current intern, and she's there, and I love her. She's wonderful. And they learn the business. And then, because it's an unpaid internship, the way I reward them is they pick their artist. We create a poster for them. We have a bar. And they put on a show for somebody, and the gallery splits the profits with her. So
they're setting up their own gallery.
And then I teach them how to get a gallery. I'm not going to give that away because that's kind of my sweet, juicy little secret. But yes, there is a way to get galleries open here in Orlando. It happens, I'm glad I talked to you. You caught me at a good point in my life, and you made me feel good about myself,
As you should.
Well, so should you.
Question before you go.
Yes.
2 questions. 2 fast, quick questions that I always come up with. What is your pet peeve?
My dishonesty.
Okay, fair enough. Moving on to the next one. Don't need any more. Since you are a Spanish speaker and you are a white man, where is the best place to get food? Mexican food in Orlando.
I'm not going to answer that. No, that's... I would like to have advertisers. So I am going to tell you anywhere. You know where? Taco Bell, delicious. Get the $5 something box.
The answer to your question is El Potro. Thank you, El Potro, for sponsoring this episode. You don't know it, but I'm sending you a bill for $1.99.
There you go, El Potro.
$95.
We love El Potro. Nathalie, where is a great place for food here in Orlando? For
Spanish food.
Spanish food.
Any ethnic region of Central America will work. You can say Colombia, Brazilian, I don't care. What's the best Central American food? A poco. All right, cool.
Right.
Okay.
Where is that? What part of town? What park? Really? Okay. That's my
Ironically,
park.
We talked about a Mexican city called Apoco.